Hi everyone, welcome back again to another Flutter tutorial, and in this session we will be discussing about value notifier in Flutter. So we have a simple Flutter application over here, and what I need is I have a simple increment icon over here, and when I click this icon button I need to just have an increment event triggered which will update the item count as 2, and also the amount, that is $75, should be updated to $150. And similarly for the decrement event also, this seems to be a simple feature, but what I have done is I have just written down all these widgets inside the separate dart files, and I have no access to the parent component on any event change. So in such cases is what value notifier comes to help. So the value notifier will notify the parent component whenever there is any event or there is any update has been triggered from the child component. Okay. So going with the coding part, I said before, I have all the widgets inside this widgets folder, and here is what the entire rendering part of all the widgets is written down. So this handle increment decrement is the functions which will be called on this icon button press. Okay, and I have just written a simple condition just to prevent the decrement from going beyond 0, that is beyond 1. Okay, I just don't want the increment to go from 0, -1, -2, and so on. So I have just written a simple ternary condition over here to check that. And so this home page declaration is nothing but a class I have defined here, which contains the amount as well as the count. Okay, so the amount is the price and the count is the item count over here. Okay, so I have just written down the logic, but whenever I click this icon button there is no change, that is nothing gets affected or nothing gets updated. So why it is not updating is this is actually a function. Okay, so you can see here this is actually a widget function, and it has no access to the states. Okay, so in order to update any event inside the widget function, you need to make use of the value notifier listener. Okay, so let's move on to that home page declaration class, which contains the variables, which is the amount and the count. So we need to update this class with an extra feature like change notifier, and I need to get notified whenever there is any change in the item count. Okay, so for that alone I will be updating this count into a value notifier, and it is of type int, and it is a count variable. And here you can just provide the initial value, that is the starting value for the count. I will be providing just 1 in our case. Okay, so I have just made use of the change notifier inside this class and updated the declaration variable with the help of value notifier. Okay, and the next thing what you need to do is need to go inside this home page. So this home page is the stateful widget class which renders the app bar and all these components below them. And here I just need to tap this single child scroll view with a widget which is called the value notify value reasonable builder. Sorry, and it's here. Okay, so let's just copy this and paste it inside this return statement. Okay, so for this value listenable, we just need to provide the variable for which the updation needs to be happened, and in our case it is home page declarations count. For the count alone we just need to get notified. So let me provide the value listenable as the count variable which we have specified over here in this class. Okay, and okay, so let's just get rid of this one. Okay, so I just wrap this entire stateful widget class, that is the build body inside a value listenable builder. Okay, so whenever there is any updation happen, then this stateful widget class gets re-rendered again upon with the help of with the updated value. Okay, so let's move on to this build body, and say this build body is what contains the entire code for entering the widgets. Now what we need to do is like instead of just the count, we just need to specify the value. Okay, so let's specify that for all. So for this one, and also we need to specify over here as well. So now I have just made use of this value notifier listener, and upon any event change, now we should be able to see the updation in the UI. Just perform hard restart, and so now we could see here whenever I just click this icon button, now you will be able to see the updation in the price as well as in the count, and similarly for the decrement as well. So this is where we'll be making use of the value notifier listener. So it's very simple. So we just need to wrap this class inside the change notifier and specify the value notifier for the variable which you need to just listen for event changes, and this parameter is the initial parameter or the initial value what we need to provide for this count variable. Okay, and after that inside this stateful widget class, you just need to wrap those build body, that is the entire body, inside this value listenable builder, and specify the value listenable to the variable to which you need to just listen to, that is to which on what variable change you need to update the states. You just specify that variable around here, and that's it. For any event change, you can just specify it as, instead of simple variable name, you just need to add another thing which is the value. Okay, so in our case it is the variable name is count, so you need to specify the count dot value. Okay, so to access that specific value of that variable. Okay, and that's it guys, that's all about the value notifier listener in Flutter. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you do so, consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.